Yo, what up? We about to talk about the reality of being an independent artist and what it kind of looks like, man. Now, it's not going to look like this for everybody, and this doesn't always apply to everybody, but I think for the majority of artists who are independent, especially the ones who are kind of at the level where they're kind of just getting their foot in the door, just getting their feet wet with everything, these are some of the most pivotal things you're going to have to worry about and consider while you're on your independent journey. Before we get into that, though, this shirt right here is dope. Sober is sexy. I encourage that life. If that ain't the life you live, that's fine. But I think it's awesome to always be sober. I just do. I think it's the way to live. You get to remember everything you did and when you did it. So the very first thing about being an independent artist is finding balance. Right? It's hard to find balance because you don't know if you're doing this too much or this too little and all those kinds of things. But to be flat out honest with you, that's strictly dependent upon you and the way you want to build up your career. Now, as an independent artist, you dictate that. You're the driver of this car. You're not in the passenger side. You're the driver. So you decide how you're going to build your career and which platforms you're going to target, all those kinds of things. Personally, I would target multiple platforms, but that's just me. Also, I think it's super important and pertinent. Now, some of y'all don't want to do this, but I think it's super important to have a planner. Use your phone, like a virtual planner or a physical planner, but having a planner and writing down when you're going to post here, when you're going to post there, if you're going to go live this day, go live that day. I just think it's really important to have a balance, not just within the craft of the music, but also in your life. Because if you are unbalanced in life, you're going to be unbalanced in music, I promise you. Right? So you got to find a way, and you guys carve out time, carve out days where, number one, you can have fun for yourself. But number two, you can work on the craft, you can work on the content, you can work on the merch, whatever it is. But you gotta have balance. Without balance, you don't have a chance. You're gonna crash. You're gonna crash. You're gonna do that thing that we call burnout. In the 9-to-5 world, we call it a burnout. In college, we call it burnout. That's what you're gonna incur, what you're gonna run into if you don't have a balance. So you need to work on your balance. You gotta work on achieving that. And what does that look like for you? Because it looks a little different for everybody. But generally speaking, a balance includes will allow you to take care of yourself, take care of your craft, and have a little bit of fun and leeway in the midst of all of it. So the first thing you gotta figure out, well, not the first, one of the most important things to figure out is the balance and how you're gonna do it. Now, this one right here is gonna kind of bleed into some of the other ones that I came up with, but finding your audience. Finding your audience is fun. It's not daunting. Nothing on this list I'm gonna tell you is hard. None of these things are hard. It's just a matter of being consistent and a matter of sticking with it. Just being consistent, really. Finding your audience is literally you just watching who gravitates toward what you're doing, right? And if a particular audience is gravitating towards what you're doing that you didn't anticipate or you're not too fond of, you gotta look at what you're doing and how it can be perceived. Right, so you have to do some self-evaluating. Ask your friends how would they perceive this song or how would they perceive this content had they not known any of the context behind it, like they don't know you at all. You have to do things like that. That's how you start to find your audience. Also, believe it or not, you are a reflection of the audience you're seeking. Right, so when you're thinking of what your audience may look like, they're probably going to look, not physically, not literally, but they're probably going to look similar to you, have similar interests, all kinds of things like that. For example, I have a project called Old Man Jack, and Old Man Jack is literally a derivative, not a derivative, but it's a play on Old Man Logan, the comic book from Wolverine, my favorite Wolverine comic. And so I know that people are going to start making, people will start making that connection. And as they start to make that connection, they'll start to realize, oh damn, he's a Marvel fan. I'm a Marvel fan. So those are little ways that you connect things. And you have to, when you're looking for your audience, look at who's responding. Stop looking at the views. We all look at the views. We all look at the numbers. It's not about the views and the numbers, right? The views and the numbers can make something look so much better and bigger than what it is. We're looking at who's engaging. So who's commenting on our stuff, right? Where are they from? What age group do they fall into? Now, fortunately, United Masters, and I'm sure some of these other distribution companies, United Masters, even YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, they all have data on there that will show you some of the age groups that are gravitating towards your material. So when you're finding your audience, all of that should be taken into play. All of that should be taken into play. And that's how you can start to find your audience. And as you start to find your audience, you can then tailor the music and the content to the specific audience. 50 Cent talked about how when he first came out, now a lot of people don't know this, when 50 popped off, 50 was 27, I think. 26 or 27 when Get Rich or Die Trying dropped. So he's not old. That was 27, 30, 35 isn't old, right? But when we talk about hip hop, we have this mentality that to be a hot artist, you gotta be 22. That's just the mentality we've been kind of cursed with. That's not the case. 50 was like 27. So a lot of his audience, right, was probably about his age, a little younger. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, we as the children, we loved him too. But that was more like us just following a trend. We were kids, we really didn't know. But I still love 50's music to this day. But he realized as he got older, his core fan group got older with him. So they're not in the club no more playing Wangsta. They're now at home. So he started attacking television, and he refound that same audience he had in the music industry. You as an independent artist, that's going to be on you to figure out, where is my audience at now? Like, what would they want to hear from me now? Now, you don't want to disturb the art and the beauty in what you do, but you do want to understand what your audience and what they want to listen to. And you start doing that by watching who's commenting, who's engaging, who's liking, who's sharing. And when you start to do that, you then utilize social media, which we'll talk about later, to build real authentic connections with them. Whoever we are, we want the support from our nearest and dearest people. Here's the reality though. There's a chance that your brother, your mother, your boyfriend and no girlfriend don't even like the kind of music you do. If you're an independent rapper, they probably don't like rap. If you do alternative, they probably don't like alternative. If you do rock and roll, they don't like whatever it is you do. They might not like it, and that's okay that they don't like it. That's okay. Like it is not on our family and friends to blow us up. It's not their responsibility. I know that's hard to think of and be like, damn, that's true. It's not our responsibility. It's our own responsibility to blow ourselves up, right? It's our job. So with that being said, let's start to engage and understand the process of whoever you do have that supports you, embrace that support. So if you got a brother that supports you, if you got a mother that supports you, whoever it is, embrace it. Thank you. If you can send them songs, if you can get them to go look at the YouTube video, to give you a like on there, a comment on there, whatever, do that. But for those who don't like the brand, for those who don't like the music, that's okay. Also, now I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair in this. If you find that they're not liking your music just on some like you ain't popping yet, that's okay too. Because here's the thing. T.I. is my favorite rapper of all time, right? T.I.'s never met me. I've never met T.I. Now, I'm not saying this won't change. This won't change in the future, but it hasn't. Right? I'm one of his biggest fans. I would like to say I was one of his biggest fans growing up, for sure. Right? Me and probably a whole bunch of other little light-skinned dudes that found hope. Right? But at the same time, you have to think about this. Your favorite artist, favorite rapper, or entertainer probably isn't local to you. Right? And so because of that, your biggest fan is probably not going to be within your circle. Probably not going to be your family. It's probably not going to be within your friend group. And that's okay. Don't take it personally. Even if they just on some like, you ain't popping yet, so I'm not celebrating you. Even if that is the case, even if that's the God honest truth as to why they are not supporting you, it don't matter. There will be plenty of people who support you. So don't get wrapped up on that. Don't get wrapped up on the 5 that ain't supporting you. Because there'll be thousands and millions that will if you put the work in and the time in. So don't get wrapped up in it. The infamous should you have a 9 to 5 question. Well, there's no right or wrong to this. Pretty much, if you don't have another way to pay your bills, yes, you need to have a job. If you're an adult and you have bills, you have to find another way to pay your bills. Simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing to talk about. Nothing to figure out. That's the truth. If you don't have any other way to pay your bills, you should have a job. The job will also fund you purchasing instrumentals and buying studio time if you're doing that. So you should have a job. Now, if you found a way, and I'll get into this later, one of the ways you can make money. If you found a way to make money and you have enough money to take care of your bills, whatever, and you don't need to have it, whereas though if you don't have it, you can still pay your rent, then don't do it. Take that extra time that you would have been given to your employer and put it towards the craft, put it towards the business side of things, put it towards understanding that side of it. So it's all dependent on your position. I say most independent artists starting out, including myself, needed jobs, right? I'm just getting rid of the 9 to 5. I'm just getting rid of it now, like right now. So it's one of those things where it all depends on the person, but ultimately most of us will in the beginning. But after we get over that particular hump and threshold, you probably don't, and you can probably rely on the content, the music, and things of that nature. Wearing multiple hats. One of my favorite and least favorite things about being an independent artist is I gotta wear multiple hats, and so do you if you want to be decent at it. Now, I'm not saying you want to eventually outsource it. You want to eventually be able to pay for folks to, give your homeboy this task or pay your homeboy to do this. Because look, everything that I can do, I have a homie that does it, right? All the editing, I have a homie that does that. All the content, I have a homie that does everything that I do. But I don't got the funds to pay them, so I'm doing everything off the muscle. This video right now will be shot, edited, and then uploaded by me. Everything has to be done by the muscle at first, because at least if you do it by the muscle, right? If you understand the idea and concept of how to record your own content, cut up your own content, release schedules, all those things. When you outsource it, you can tell someone exactly what you want and show them, right? One of the best gifts in the world is when you can tell someone, hey, look, man, you hire someone to do something. They're like, I don't know how to do it. Well, let me show you how to do it real quick. That's how you get it done. So you got to wear multiple hats. You got to be a manager. You got to be your PR. You got to be your agent. You got to be the artist. You got to be the producer. You got to do a lot of different things, bro. And that's just a part of the game, right? All of us aren't meant to do this, right? And it also gives you leverage when you go negotiate a deal. If you ever decide to go do that, it gives you leverage in those conversations too, because they might say, oh, we're going to give you this kind of budget. And you're like, I don't need all that. All I need is this. Right? Like, so you'll find your way and find your niche and how to do it, man. But it's really important to learn the different things that you need to know, because you have to learn the business side of things. Music is a long-term investment. Do not expect to go viral tomorrow. It can happen, but that should not be your expectation. What you should strive for as an independent artist is building up your catalog. Here's the bottom line. If you're an independent artist and you drop enough, and I mean you drop enough music, let's say you got if you have at least 20 songs, if you got at least 20 songs, you can make so much content off of those 20 songs. So many little short videos, so many little freestyle videos, so many little videos with merch in it, about merch, but then you attach the merch to a lyric, right? It's so many things you can do with that. So because of that concept, if you got at least 20 songs, at least 20 quality songs, I'm going to say quality, at least 20 quality songs, you can actually start building off of that. But you want to have a foundation. As an independent artist, your goal should be to build the foundation, because when you do go viral, when you do blow up, when you do get a massive following overnight, and it really wasn't overnight, but when you do get that surge of followers out of nowhere, you know that they have something to land on. A lot of people go viral and have nothing else after that. It's almost like you see a girl, right, and she got everything you like. She got the curves, the smile, the hip, whatever you like, bro, whatever you like, right? But then you talk to her and she dumb as hell. You're like, damn, all you are something to look at? That's crazy, right? You'll go from stiff and you'll just flash it like a mug. I don't want nothing to do with you because you ain't got no brain. So when you're looking at music, man, you got to be willing to build up the foundation. You want someone to have somewhere to land when they're looking for you, when they're looking for music. You want to, oh, damn, he on this vlog, or he do this, he do that too. You want to have that. So if you got the landing strip, okay, now you can build a fan base, because they got things to go look at. They got other ways to attach themselves to you. Some of my favorite songs from my favorite artists are like not even their singles. All of my favorite artists, most of my favorite songs from them, bro, are not their singles, man. It'd be their B-side records, the records on the album that make the album complete. It'd be those records, because those records, they be really talking that talk. So it's important to not focus on going viral. It is important on understanding that music is an investment. It's more of a long-term game, and the long-term game might be 30 days for you. You might drop so many songs and do so much content. You might drop 5-6 pieces of content a day per platform, right? You might go ahead and flood the algorithm like that and then pop off, right? For some other people, it might be 6 months, it might be 3 months, it might be a year and a half, whatever it is. The length of time it's going to take you to start making money off of, I'm not saying off of music solely, but to make money off of music, content, things of that nature, it's all dependent upon your hustle. It's all dependent on your hustle. Your hustle will dictate what you do and how well you do it. That's really it. Independent artistry is an independent artist. Your hustle is your main driver. You'll get a lot of lucky moments. I went viral before. I went viral on like a comedy skit, but it wasn't no music. But yeah, like it's all dependent on you. And so I would say aim to create a foundation. Do not shoot for the viral moment. You'll probably get it, but you don't want to get the viral moment with nothing for them to land, nothing else for them to land on. OGs and everyone out there who think they're too cool to be on social media. If you're gonna be an independent artist today, you need to be on social media. Embrace it. Embrace social media. It's one of the most important things you're gonna do. It's gonna connect you to potential fans. It's gonna connect you to other artists, right? It'll connect you to brand deals. It'll be exposure for you to get bigger deals and other opportunities. Social media is exactly that. And I would also say utilize multiple, and I mean multiple platforms. Don't be I'm just gonna be an Instagram guy. I'll just be on YouTube. I'll just be on TikTok. We are all seeing the rumors and hearing the rumors and seeing the things about TikTok that it may get shut down. I don't know, or whatever the case is. But that's a reason that you utilize multiple platforms. Utilize multiple platforms. You should be uploading to all those platforms, engaging on all of them, going live on all of them, or going live on a couple of them at least, right? This is literally how you are going to create the fan base and connect the people the way you need to connect the people. Everything else is going to fall apart if you don't do it. If you don't utilize social media, you'll be that dinosaur trying to figure out. You'll be outside selling actual CDs like, hey, you gonna buy? No, bro. Get with the times, man. This is the time. Get with the times. Embrace social media. Also, every social media platform has ads. You can pay to have your piece of content, whatever your piece of content is. You can pay for that to be promoted. You can pay $10, $20, $15, $30 a day, whatever you want to put on it a day. And then each platform has like a fee that they attach onto it. So like I think for Instagram, I just promoted something I did a real small one, $5 for 3 days, $15, and I think it was like a $6 service fee for Instagram to do that. But every platform has it. Right, you got to figure out the algorithm and how it's going to work. And I will only recommend putting ads on something that did well organically. If it did well on its own, like let's say if your average view count is 200, and on this particular one you got 800, I'm throwing promotion on that one, because something about this one made it stick out opposed to the other ones. Now, when you push this one out, then people will go back and look at the other ones. Then the numbers will boost. Also, social media. It's hard to make good money on music in the beginning. Especially in the beginning, it's hard for us to make money on it. I know that from personal experience. I'm learning it now. I'm just starting to make a little bit of change on music. I'm not making much on music right now. Social media will actually give you opportunities for monetization. Right? So you can almost, it's crazy to think about it this way. You'll make money because you're using your music sound on your YouTube, on your Instagram channel, right? But then imagine when you get monetized on Instagram and you're in the bonus, you're in the bonus program and you're getting paid for views, right? That's the kind of thing. This is why social media provides additional opportunities for monetization and exposure and things like that. So do not be a dinosaur. Use social media. Don't be a dinosaur. Go ahead and get on social media and utilize it. This should go without saying, man, but perfect your craft. Perfect it. And this ain't just for the lyrical miracle guys, the guys who just want to bar things to death. And no, perfect the craft, whatever it is you do. All of us, every artist, whether you're a rapper, don't matter if you're a rapper or any other kind of artist, right? We all have at least one lane we fit into. Right? We all have at least one. I think a lot of us have maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 that we fit into. Perfect that craft though, whatever that is. If you a pen guy, if you all about the bars, perfect it. But learn how to put a song together too. That's gonna be important. But you gotta perfect the craft. That means working at the craft, listening to your music. Damn, I could have went better here. I could have got this right. Could have said that right. Because I think one of the things that we do today, we record so much content, we record so much music so fast that we never really get a chance to learn what our strengths are as artists. We just kind of keep recording and keep recording and keep recording and keep recording. No, go ahead and I'm sorry. Recording is going to help you perfect your craft, but really go out your way to learn your craft. Learn how to get better. Learn your voice. Learn the strengths in your voice. All of us as rappers have a strength in our voice. We have strengths. Right? Some of our voices are really good at saying certain words, at certain tones, certain cadences. We only can learn that by perfecting the craft. So take the time out and just get better at the craft. Right? I know today people don't think about it that way. They're all talking about just making money and blah, blah, blah. But listen, those guys who stay relevant in music or in general are guys who perfected the craft. Right? Those guys who follow trends, they typically die with the trend. But when you perfect the craft, you give yourself a real good chance to stick around. And you can make key adjustments as you perfect your craft. So don't forget, I know I said a lot of things, but perfect your craft. Most importantly, enjoy the ride. I get it. We all want to get to the championship. I get it. We all want to get 1 million streams, 1 million views, platinum album. We want to be Grammy nominated. I get it. I'm in that same boat. But the most important piece of it all is the ride. It's the journey. Right? I'll give you an example. If you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of what else? If you're a fan of sports, if you're a fan of I can't think of the Transformers, right? Transformer movies, right? When you go to these events, there's one thing that you can expect, right? You expect the action. Right? When you go to a football game, you want to see touchdowns. We all do. But if you're a football fan, you really want to see how they scored the touchdown. Did they set it up with did they set the pass up with the run? Did they set the run up with the pass? Was it a flea flicker? Did they call it from a spread formation? Did they hand the ball off to Derrick Henry 20 times? Right? Did he get 6 carries on this one drive? These are the things you want to ask yourself, right? Because you want to see that, but it's about the journey. When you go see a Marvel movie, you know if Thor's in it, you know he's going to show some lightning. You know it, right? And when you went to see Endgame, you knew for a fact that at some point they were going to fight Thanos. Even though half of them died and all that, you knew they were going to fight Thanos, right? But you wanted to see the story in the middle that made getting to Thanos that much more important. That's what you wanted to see. I wanted to see it, right? It's the journey. Embrace this journey. This will be the only time you feel the way you feel right now. Today is the youngest you ever going to be, right? You'll never be this young again. Tomorrow you'll be a day older, right? Embrace the journey. Smile. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to feel sad. You're going to think about quitting. You're going to think about it, and it's okay. But don't quit. Enjoy the ride. Appreciate y'all for watching.